Hey, Sean here from SpeedCubeReview.com. Let's go over 4x4s and do a little bit of a mega comparison. Now, this is not going to be every 4x4, and I'm actually going to throw out some things right now that I'm not a big fan of. Some things with 4x4, the current ones on the market, as far as budget and top tier ones, all perform exceptionally well. There's not many of them that I would even consider as bad. So I'm going to be a little more blunt with some of the puzzles. What I like in a 4x4 is a more compact feeling, and yeah, that's kind of it. So there's some things that I feel like work really well, and I'm just going to start out with the one that I used at US Nationals last year, which was the Maylong M. And I don't think it was officially produced yet. There was one that I made on my own and one that I got sent to me from the factory. This is one I got sent from the factory. And I know that because when I made it my own, I spilled a little bit of super glue and had to polish it. And then it was a whole ordeal that wasn't competition legal because you could see the polish. However, what do I like about this Maylong M? Well, I like that it's 59 millimeters. So compared to something that is 60 millimeters, it's just a little smaller, and compared to what used to be the standard size of 62, it's much more compact. It flows really nicely, it's light, which makes the turning really nice, and the performance is great. So the only thing I don't like about it is the matte finish. Especially on bigger puzzles, the matte finish it makes it a little more slick, and so it takes a lot of use or polishing to clean it up. But as far as a budget puzzle, that's the one I would recommend right off the bat as a low price, good 4x4. I prefer it over the MS. I prefer it over the Shengshou ones, the Mr. M, even other ones that are more recent. So Moyu came out with their RS4 2020, and this is modeled after the GTS1, which I felt was a flop. At least for me, it wasn't anything special. And it actually got taken or taken off the market or replaced with the GTS2 pretty fast because also cores were breaking. I'm assuming they fixed that with this. But yeah, of all the budget ones, the Maylong M is the one that I think has the nicest performance and a good compact size. So because of that, there's other budget ones that came out, but there's other top tier ones like the MGC. Not the YJ Yulong series. That's again kind of bulky in size. The Volk, this one is the Moyu WRM, and this is the GTS2. Let's go through. I'm going to start from the right. The MGC I don't like. It's a really popular one, and it works well. It's not bad, but it feels kind of sluggish. The inner magnets are really strong, and although it can corner cut well, I'm not a big fan of the feeling. It feels very, on looser tensions, it feels very wobbly, like things can easily catch. And on tighter tensions, it feels like it doesn't want to move as much, and it's kind of a really heavy puzzle. A lot like the MGC 3x3. I mean, if you love the 3x3 feeling, you'll like the 4x4 one. I think MGC has done a great job with their 5x5 and 6x6, and I would love for these to just feel a little bit lighter. The Volk, kind of the opposite. It's very compact. Things want to move very nicely, a lot like how the Volk Power feels, even the Volk Elite. The problem with the Volk is that the springs I think are a bit too tight. So a lot of people have taken the springs and compressed them, which I've done here, which really helps with the turning. I think I might have actually stretched the springs back out afterwards just to make it back to how it was. And it's not a bad puzzle. I have this on very tight tensions right now because on looser ones, I'm finding that the internal pieces pop a little bit. Again, these could be great for people. They're not awful puzzles. The 4x4s are very similar right now. Moyu has done an excellent job with their 4x4s. If I am not using the Maylong, I'm using the WRM. They're the same size. They're 59 millimeters. And what's different with the WRM is it doesn't have the matte finish. The colors are a little bit nicer. It's kind of a more half bright shade. And it just feels a little bit more premium. There's one thing that I don't like about it, or that I wish it did, and I wish it had the structure of the GTS2. So the WRM is not like an altered GTS2 in the same way that the WRM 3x3 is an altered GTS3. Hopefully that all made sense. The GTS2 has different corners, and of all the puzzles, honestly, the GTS2, in my opinion, is the best performing 4x4 on the market. What I don't like about it is the size. It's like 61.5 millimeters instead of 59. But if I'm not performing well with this, I just need a change, I jump to this one, and it just flows exceptionally well. So if you don't mind larger puzzles, or you like the old size for 4x4s, get the GTS2. If you want a smaller puzzle, get the WRM. If you want a budget puzzle, get the Meilong M. And if you want a mini puzzle, get the YJ. So this one I've actually been using as a quote-unquote main for competitions, and it's 56 millimeters. If I put it next to the Gain 11 Pro, it's the same size as it. I don't mind mini puzzles, and actually I kind of prefer them. This is getting on the line of being almost too small. Their 5x5 is 58 millimeters, and that one is, I would say, is too small. This is getting to that point, but I still like to use it because especially when you get to the 3x3 stage, it just flows. It flows exceptionally well. And internals, everything work great, but this is what I would recommend as far as the best performing one, the one that is great and a smaller size, the one that's great and a budget one, and the one that's great that's a mini one. These ones would without a doubt be considered a mini puzzle just a couple years ago. Nowadays, we almost consider it the standard size. But hopefully this helps. I'm going to be a little more blunt with these reviews just because there's so much out there. I think some people now need a direction of this is what I would recommend to get if you really have no idea. So thank you very much for watching. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future. And as always, stop by speedcubeview.com for more news and reviews.